Heinz is trying to beef up ketchup's image. Now, they'd like you to believe that it's more than a modest condiment. Instead, it's a weapon against cancer. Ketchup fans who have heard about it are skeptical.
Whoa, yeah, well, I better start using more of it then, yes.
No, it was just a surprise.
What's the basis for it?
The claim comes from the latest ad campaign from Heinz. Now, the headline says lycopene may help reduce the risk of prostate and cervical cancer, and it points to ketchup as the way to get it. Consumer Reports newsletter On Health reviewed the claim and says there may be a bit of truth about the connection between cancer and lycopene. That's an antioxidant found in tomatoes and tomato-based products.
Recent studies have linked a high intake of lycopene with a lower risk of certain cancers, but whether it works or not is far from certain.
But Heinz also claims ketchup is America's favorite source of lycopene. Well, that may be true, but Consumer Reports says there are more nutritional sources. For example, you'd have to eat 6 tablespoons of ketchup to get close to the lycopene in this glass of tomato juice. And ketchup also frequently accompanies fattier foods, so there are other leaner sources.
To get the lycopene on the half cup of tomato sauce on this pasta, you'd have to eat about 7 hamburgers with 1 serving, that's 1 tablespoon, of ketchup on each one.
In the final analysis, Consumer Reports says ketchup makes about as good a cancer fighter as it did a school lunch vegetable.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Tammy Ray is typical of those who have helped build the growing trend in digital photography. She enjoys taking photos of her college friends and then turning them into invitations, which she can email. But it's been expensive. A digital camera can cost $500 or more. So now Kodak claims to have an affordable way for you to go digital using your own film camera. It's called the Kodak Picture CD, and you order it when you take your photos to be developed. You pay $9 to $10 per 24 exposure roll and receive a CD with all the photo images already on it. Consumer Reports' Susan Dano and Marlis Harris checked it out.
When you load the picture CD, the software comes up, and you can see the thumbnails of your pictures right here.
The software comes with an instant fix feature so you can adjust color balance, brightness, and contrast. Another feature allows you to trim or crop the photos. The finished product can be emailed to mom or printed from an inkjet printer. Consumer Reports says prints from the Kodak Picture CD are comparable to prints from digital cameras.
Okay, this is the picture CD, and this is the digital camera.
Consumer Reports concludes that if, like Tammy Ray, you like digital photography, the Kodak Picture CD is a good way to start. They call this website e-fax and offers a great way to receive faxes without investing in equipment. It's particularly good for those who travel and like to be able to receive faxes on the road. Here's how it works. When someone wants to send you a fax, they simply dial your unique e-fax number and press send. Just like regular faxes, e-faxes can include text, graphics, or both. Once sent, your fax is received at the e-fax service center, compressed and protected with your personal password for security, then instantly forwarded to your email address. On the email, the fax comes as an attached file, just like when someone sends you a document. To read the fax, you need a special viewer program which you download from the e-fax website. And before the fax opens, you'll see a brief splash screen with some advertising, but nothing obnoxious, and of course, there are no ads on the fax itself. Now, you do have to sign up for the service, but it's free. The e-fax website has lots of step-by-step instructions, so even the most inexperienced computer user can immediately start using this service. Parents buy about 3 million new baby walkers every year. 6 new ones are on the market and come with labeling that reads, meets new safety standards. Now, these new standards are aimed at preventing walkers from falling downstairs. Consumer Reports wanted to find out if they work. Now, 2 by manufacturers Colcraft and J. Mason meet the new voluntary standard with walkers that are extra wide. In fact, they can't even fit through a 36-inch opening, the standard size of a doorway. But if there is no doorway, Kim Clayman shows it could still go right down the stairs. 4 walkers by Graco, Costco, as well as Delta and Safety First have friction strips underneath that are supposed to stop it before it goes over the edge. Now, to test these walkers, engineer Werner Freitag used a 17-pound dummy. That's the typical weight of a baby in a walker. The weight and the pulley system is designed to accelerate the walker to 4 feet per second. That's the fastest speed a baby could probably get going.
Well, this friction strip stopped the walker from going too far over the edge of the stairs.
Consumer Reports found the walkers with the friction strips worked. However, there's a word of caution. If you buy a new walker with the friction strips, it's important to keep them clean. Dirt and dust can compromise their gripping ability. You've probably seen commercials like these promising big savings on your long-distance calls.
You are getting hammered by long-distance charges. Do like I do. Just dial 1010-811 before long-distance calls.
It's only 99 cents up to 20 minutes and just 10 cents a minute after that within the U.S. or to Canada.
Sounds good, but Consumer Reports' Ellen Breitman found that almost all of the major 1010 services have some kind of catch. Take the one Doug Flutie is advertising, 1010-220 from MCI's Telecom USA.
With 1010-220, you pay 99 cents for up to 20 minutes. So if you talk for only a minute or you get an answering machine, you're still going to be paying 99 cents.
And there's a catch with the service that Sugar Ray Leonard is advertising. Vartex Dime Line promises calls for 10 cents a minute.
With this service, it's 30 cents no matter what because there's a 3-minute minimum.
There are also catches with several other services. AT&T's Lucky Dog service promises 10 cents a minute, but you see in smaller print you're charged an extra 10 cents connection fee per call. 1010-502 promises a cheap 5 cents a minute, but in the smaller print you see a monthly access fee of $4.95. So despite the great-sounding commercials, Consumer Reports says check for any catches before you try a 1010 dial-around service. Like many of us, Tammy Gerke is paying far more than she'd like for long distance. Whether your carrier is Sprint, like Tammy's, or MCI, or AT&T, Consumer Reports says the first way to cut your costs is to make sure you're signed up for one of their discount calling plans.
If you're not signed up for a discount calling plan, you're going to be paying basic rates, which are the most expensive.
Just do what Tammy did and call your carrier.
I was calling. I have a few questions about my account and my service.
Make sure you're on the best plan for the types of calls you make, and check back every 6 months or so because the offers change without warning. For certain types of calls, Consumer Reports says you'll save even more than using a 1010 dial-around service.
Dial-around services make sense in a few cases. During peak business hours when other rates tend to be higher, and for international calls, there are some really good deals from dial-around companies. During
peak hours, Consumer Reports says the best bet for domestic calls is PT1 Communications. It charges only 7.9 cents a minute. The bad news is it's not available in Arizona just yet. For international calls, well, no single best bet. It depends upon what country you call. Tammy calls Italy, and Consumer Reports found she could save $40 on her bill by using one of the dial-around services.
Well, I went home last weekend, actually.
Some ads call it a fountain of youth. Others market it as a Power Plus formula for bodybuilders. You can order it from the internet, or you can buy it in the supermarket under the name DHEA. Now, that's short for a tongue-twister name, dehydroepiandrosterone. Consumer Reports explains what DHEA does in your body.
DHEA is the stuff from which sex hormones are made, estrogens and especially testosterone. But as we age, our bodies tend to produce less and less DHEA.
So supplement sellers claim to come to the rescue. They say that if you restore the DHEA in your body to youthful levels, the anti-aging benefits will be tremendous. And there are other claims.
Yes. It also helps prevent diabetes, obesity, and strengthens the immune system.
But Consumer Reports says the scientific evidence to support those claims is limited.
Studies in animals show that extra DHEA may protect against skin cancer, diabetes, and obesity. But the handful of studies that have been done in humans really show little, if any, evidence at all.
And there are risks. Too much DHEA may increase the risk of prostate cancer in men. In women, it may increase the risk of breast cancer, and it can promote hair growth on the face and body. Consumer Reports says if you're looking for that fountain of youth, you're not likely to find it in a bottle of DHEA.
Here's what real people think about Ginkgoba.
I know where my glasses are, I know where my keys are, I know where my pocketbook is, I get out of the house on time.
The middle-aged woman in this ad was pleased with the results she got from Ginkgoba, a supplement that contains the herb ginkgo biloba.
Think better. Think Ginkgoba.
Ginkgo biloba is the active ingredient in a variety of products like these that claim to improve your memory. But Consumer Reports' newsletter on health says there is little evidence that the herb does what the ads promise.
Some studies have suggested that ginkgo may temporarily improve the mental performance of people with Alzheimer's disease or other forms of dementia, but those improvements were minimal at best.
For the vast majority of older Americans, like Stanley and Joan Adolph, who don't have Alzheimer's, Consumer Reports says ginkgo has not yet been proven to improve or preserve memory. Now, if you are worried about your mind or memory, Consumer Reports says try taking stock of your medicine chest. Some common prescription drugs like Darvon, Valium, and diabetes medications can actually cause mental cloudiness. Also, check with your doctor.
Memory loss is not an inevitable part of aging, as some people think. There are diseases, such as an underactive thyroid, which cause decrease in mental sharpness and are easily treated.
As for the Adolphs, well, they've taken up checkers. You see, studies show that exercising your mind can keep it sharp, and learning new skills can even reverse memory loss late in life. Jack and millions of other babies chew on teethers when their first teeth are coming in. Now, many of those are made of plastic. Consumer Reports just tested 7 of the most commonly used types of teethers. Most were made of soft plastic. 1 was made of hard plastic. Edward Groth oversaw the testing.
All these products are designed for kids to chew on, for babies who are teething to chew on them.
The problem is that when babies chew on some plastic, it can leach a potentially harmful chemical called DINP. Consumer Reports found that all the soft plastic teethers it tested were made of polyvinyl chloride and contained DINP.
DINP, when fed to animals at high doses, causes cancer and kidney and liver damage and other kinds of adverse effects. The scientific community isn't sure whether it's harmful to children at the low levels that they get from chewing on plastic objects, but it makes sense to limit kids' exposure anyway.
The government has asked manufacturers to reformulate, and most say they will, but some teethers containing DINP may still be on the store shelves, and you may not be able to tell from the packaging what's what. Consumer Reports says to be on the safe side only buy teethers that manufacturers confirm are free of the chemical, and throw out any soft plastic teethers you may already have. As for the hard plastic keys that Jack is chewing, well, Consumer Reports tests say they are just fine. Designers such as Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein, and Martha Stewart offer a complete bed and bath collection with special towels to match.
This is the color you want.
Yeah,
it's going to be perfect, yes.
Now, you would expect that perfect shade of blue to stay blue and not turn purple. But Consumer Reports' Pat Slavin and Sigrid Benedetti, who just finished testing 26 dark blue and green towels, say don't count on it.
These swatches are from the Martha Stewart collection. They started out navy, but after 50 washes, they look purple.
Other towels had problems, too. In fact, almost half changed color. Consumer Reports laundered them 50 times, representing 1 year's use. Bleach was not used in the wash, yet look at these towels from the Land's End Coming Home collection. The Egyptian comb towel in Hunter Green turned olive, but the worst offender was the Utica Infinity. It started out medium blue and turned green. After all the tests were done, Consumer Reports found 2 very good towels. They are the Royal Egyptian by Spring Made for $10 and the Select Edition from Walmart for $6. Look for the ones with Springs Industries on the tag. Both towels not only held their color, but they were among the better values in the test.
Executive Chef Luciano Pellegrini sampled 5 frozen pizzas: Freschetta Supreme, Tony's Super Rise, Tombstone Oven Rising Supreme, DiGiorno Rising Crust Pizza, and Red Baron Back to Rise.
We are going to go with the crispy version, so we are following instructions.
An hour later, the food is ready. Luciano slides up the pizzas and he's ready to judge.
If the crust looks good, it looks crunchy, and it looks golden, then chances are the pizza is going to be good.
Pizza number 1, a bit doughy. Now number 2.
Very nice tasting. Yeah, the sauce is there and it's light, not as overpowering as the other one.
Luciano says the problem with many of the frozen pizzas is that they're a bit heavy.
There has to be a balance between the ingredients. I don't like pizzas that are too cheesy.
So after all the chewing, which pizza tasted the best? One stood out among the rest.
And the winner is...
Number 2?
Suspense is killing me. Oh, yes. DiGiorno.
Well, it has an Italian name.
It does. There's also a Rising Crust pizza.
No question the new Skillet meals are easy to prepare. In Consumer Reports' test kitchen, they only took about 10 to 15 minutes from opening the bags to serving. The test included 6 Skillet meals from Stouffer's and Bird's Eye. All were chicken with a variety of vegetables and sauces, neither pasta or potatoes. The tasters sampled each product 4 times. Ann Knutson led the discussion as the testers analyzed the taste and texture of each ingredient.
We'll talk about the meat first.
The tasters found the chicken was generally decent quality. Most contained chunks of white meat. The vegetables were also fairly good, better than those, in fact, in frozen microwave meals. Where some of the Skillet meals ran into trouble, though, was with their sauces. That was especially true of the ones from Stouffer's. The worst, apparently, was Stouffer's Lean Cuisine Skillet Sensations Chicken Primavera.
The sauce itself didn't seem to have a whole lot of flavor other than a little bit of artificial butter and some sort of nondescript dried out herbs.
Other sauces were much better.
This was a mild garlic.
And the sauce, you saw it as?
A buttery sauce.
Buttery.
Yes.
That was the best of the Skillet meals. It's called Chicken Walla Garlic Chicken from Bird's Eye. A bag costs $3.50, and it should give you 2 generous servings. Consumer Reports engineers crash-tested helmets by dropping them at various speeds onto a hard surface. The helmets were dropped on 3 different surfaces. The flat represents pavement, the round one a rock, and the triangle a sidewalk curb. Consumer Reports' Harvey Bell demonstrates how well helmets can protect you. Now, imagine this melon is your unprotected head. To see how much protection the helmet offers, the melon gets dropped again, a big difference.
And we've got a protected melon.
All 12 helmets rated good or better in the crash test, and a high price tag doesn't mean a better rating. One helmet for $150 did not outperform these for $50 and less. In another test, Consumer Reports put each helmet in a wind tunnel to check how well it keeps your head cool. The wet felt over the head form simulates sweat-soaked hair. After the helmet is buckled over it, testers turn on the fan. The results, well, not surprisingly, show that the more vents, the better a helmet's ability to cool your head.
Some people think that cooling vents may compromise the safety of a helmet, but our results show that helmets with many vents perform very well on impact tests.
In the end, Consumer Reports found 2 very good values, one by Louis Garneau called the Globe for $50, which is very good ventilation and excellent impact protection, and one by Trek called the Vapor for $32. It was very good in the crash test and had very good ventilation. Cruise lines traditionally sold their voyages through videos like this one, but now a new wave of booking has arrived. Recently, 3 major cruise lines opened online sites where consumers can surf for cruises straight from their personal computer. Consumer Reports Travel Letter recently checked them out. The first, Carnival Cruise Lines at www.carnival.com.
Carnival was the easiest site to get around. You click, you point, you're there.
You can choose a cruise and stateroom that suits your budget, then submit your charge card information, and you're on your way. The next one, from Royal Caribbean Cruise at www.rccl.com, has a site that's really not quite as convenient. After you fill out all the information, you still have to use a reservation specialist who will contact you by phone. And finally, the best of the 3 sites is by Renaissance Cruises at www.renaissancecruises.com. This one allows you to take a 360-degree visual tour of the ships, but you have to be comfortable with downloading and installing software to use the interactive photography. Renaissance is also offering discounts if you buy online, but buying cruises online is still uncharted territory. Consumer Reports says the technology isn't quite there yet. If you're a first-time cruiser, you may still want to shop the traditional way with a stack of brochures and the help of a travel agent. Solving the Y2K problem on your personal computer is more involved than just going in and changing the date.
You probably want to set the date to 12/31/99.
Y2K expert James Daly shows us what could happen if you only reset the clock to the new year to test your system's Y2K readiness.
We changed the date, and well, I look down here, and the time is right. Yeah, it's about, whoa, but the date is wrong. January 4th, 1980. Well, that's what's going to happen to a lot of computers when they turn them on after the year 2000.
Daly says you risk losing date-sensitive home finance or accounting programs that way. Your computer needs to be upgraded one step at a time, or shall we say one layer at a time. Start with the computer itself, the hardware which stores and tracks the date. Next, there's your operating systems. Windows is the most popular one. It passes that date to your programs. And finally, well, you have to update your programs, which are sensitive. Now, it sounds like a big job, and it can be. Daly says to avoid the Y2K confusion, invest in a program that will test your home PC. He showed us a Symantec program that takes you step by step through a Y2K test.
Some of the better products will not only tell you whether you're ready or not, but will tell you what's wrong, where it's wrong, and where you need to go to get it fixed.
And where are those Y2K fixes? Well, most are available for free on the internet. But finding the solution that's right for you can be overwhelming, frustrating and time-consuming.
Bring a lot of patience. There's a lot of information out there about year 2000. It's almost information overload, if you will. So you have to sift through a lot to find what you're looking for.
And Daily warns, plan ahead and back up all your important information on hard disk. And remember, the internet could be a very busy place as the year 2000 rolls around. It's the idea of a Florida guy named Jim Lauer. Now, Jim had never worked with fish or fish tanks before. He started this all, in fact, as a joke back in the mid-90s. But now, well, it's really taken off. People are clamoring for his plans, which Jim openly shares, even giving step-by-step instructions on his website. Jim prefers working with Macintosh computers, which he turns into, ta-da, Macquariums. Look for yourself. His website shows how he does it, stripping out the computer innards, getting the right size tank, fitting it so that the fish show right through the computer screen. He shops around computer flea markets and the like and picks up old, out-of-date computers. He can fit everything from 5 to 14-gallon tanks inside PC boxes. Now, Jim will also work with old IBM computers. In fact, he picked up this stack at a flea market and wondered what to do with them. Then he says he hit on the perfect idea. He didn't use them for his fish aquariums. He instead turned them into kitty litter boxes.